get lost in the rabbit hole. Connect every emotion, experience, adventure, struggle, pain, and achievement. Know the past, feel the future, and live this moment with Nisha Haraale. Every Sunday on Niche Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fifth episode of Let's Get Lost in the Rabbit Hole with me, Nisha Haraale, on Niche Radio. And joining me today is a super talented psychedelic artist called STARLAB. Hi, Bharat, aka STARLAB. Are you all set to get lost in the rabbit hole?
Hi Nisha, yes, very much.
Why the name STARLAB?
It's all about the cosmos, and I think of myself as a kind of explorer of sorts, a space cadet, you can say. So I thought STARLAB is a good fit for that kind of vibe.
How did your journey as STARLAB start?
Well, when I was in college, a bunch of my friends, we decided to go to Goa for a holiday after finishing college. It was probably like 2021, and back then I was playing in a rock band. I used to play in rock and metal bands.
Oh, really?
And yeah. We were playing together for over 10 years, and we were already like writing original music at that time. That was everything to me, you know. That's all I kind of knew. I didn't really explore much else outside of the rock and metal scene. And, you know, of course, I'd heard about psytrance and the rave scene and stuff like that. I never, like, really quite experienced it. A couple of my friends who were already in the psy scene, one day they were like, why don't you come with us over to Shiva Valley? We're going there for a party. And I was like, no, this is not for me, and, stuff like that. And somehow they convinced me to go along with them. That night changed my life. Like, that music, it resonated with me on another level completely. I believe GMS was playing that night. We were out all night on the beach. Like, the very next day, you can say I was kind of epiphany. And I was like, wow, like, this is the kind of music I want to make and produce. So I pretty much, literally, quit my band the very next day.
So how was the transition from the rock metal band to a psychedelic artist? Was it tough?
Well, it was actually more gradual than I'm making it sound. I did quit my band pretty much immediately after that. But then I started to learn how to produce my own music, which was also rock-based. I was recording all the instruments myself. I went to this school in Delhi to learn how to use Logic. So I started to record my own instruments. So I was recording guitar, bass, I was programming drums. And I was very inspired by this band called Tool. I still am, but they really had a huge impact on me that time. It's like a psychedelic metal style. So I started to kind of write music like that, more instrumental, and using samples of people like Timothy Leary and stuff like that. And that's what kind of slowly got me into going more electronic. I started to listen to Iboga records back then. So I just randomly kind of came across Ace Ventura, Perfect Stranger, Liquid Soul, stuff like that. I was like, man, I need to figure out how to make this music, And I started fooling around myself and watching videos on YouTube, and that's how I learned. I basically taught myself how to produce using YouTube.
You said you learned from YouTube. How did Digital Home happen?
So, around this time, I got really interested in learning how to produce music, right? So, my parents, they were very supportive. They were always very supportive of music from the start.
Oh, God bless.
Musicians as a hobby. My mom's an Indian classical singer. My dad plays the bass guitar. So, yeah, they were always kind of pushing me into music, I wanted to learn music, how to produce music more professionally. So, one day I kind of asked them, I was like, I want to go to music school. They just literally said, go wherever you want, choose which school you want to go to, just apply and go. So I found a school in San Francisco. So while I was there, I started to take it more seriously. I got to know a lot of the crews who were doing sci parties there that time, and I started to play in parties. And while I was there, I actually produced my first track. You can say, complete track. So that got the attention of Nishan. He's the owner of Digital Home, actually. So he added me on Facebook. I didn't really know him. I knew of him, but I didn't really know him. And he just kind of messaged me on Facebook, and he's like, hey, I heard your track and stuff, and we're an Indian label from Bombay, and we're always like looking out to promote Indian producers. So why don't you make something for us? And we got talking, and I kind of actually joined this room as a label manager at that point of time. I'm helping out a lot with the label, like a lot of the A&R stuff. Not as much as I used to, but I'm still like very, very involved.
What's a core advice you would want to give out there to aspiring producers?
Well, with regards to labels, I think you need to first work hard on developing your sound. You need to develop a niche for yourself, and you need to figure out like where you fit in the sense of labels, because different labels, basically the style of music which I make. There are a bunch of labels, but they are all different in their own way. They have a slightly different kind of a sound. So you need to see where you fit, and you really need to first work on putting your music out there for free to begin with. Put it up on SoundCloud. You can even like manage your own Spotify now. You don't really need a professional distributor to do that for you. So I think start with that. Like labels will come after you if your music is good. Don't just think about labels. I mean, those days are gone where labels were of primary importance. A few years ago you couldn't really make it without a label, but I really believe that now you can. I have a lot of friends pretty successful in the scene who don't have a label. They're self-releasing their music. This is also something which I can say, that don't be afraid to self-release your music. There's a lot of services out there which allow you to distribute your music to all the leading download and streaming platforms. Don't just think that, oh my god, like a label is not taking me on, so I'm not good enough.
So there are these young aspiring artists who come up to me also and ask a few questions. And there's one thing that I keep telling them, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that promotion and PR activities plays a major role besides the fact that you can produce.
Oh yes, totally. So I actually even teach music. I teach psytrance production, and this is something which I tell my students. I tell them that look, you can be in your room or your studio, whatever, producing music, making the best music in the world. But if you don't go out there, if you don't meet people who are in the scene, who are doing stuff in the scene, go out to the parties, just making music is not enough. You need to have PR skills. Yeah, like you need to go out there, not be afraid to like go up to people and promoters, organizers, introduce yourselves. I would say it's like these days it's kind of like 50-50,
Yeah.
You have to have the music to back it up, and then you also got to have a personality to back it up too.
So you play both roles. You're a music producer and you are a DJ. Like you actually play your music.
Yeah.
I want to know, is it tough to do both?
Well, I think they go hand in hand, right? Like I'm making the music and then I need to get it out there in terms of live shows.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The best producers
Yeah.
not mix the best.
Yeah,
But there are some DJs who are really good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. So a lot of producers are literally like making a live set and say that kind of pre-recorded live set, and they're just going out and pressing play on Ableton.
Which is their music, technically.
Which is, I mean, they've done the hard work in the studio.
Correct.
So it can be argued that, there's a certain kind of a flow that they want to create, and they've done the hard work in the studio to make the flow. So they're just going out there and they're presenting it. So it's a presentation rather than an actual mix. So I personally find that a little bit boring. I used to do that. I used to do the same thing. I used to just line up my music on Ableton and I used to go out and play it. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. So I might want to play a certain track at a certain point of time, seeing the response of the crowd. I've had this experience in the past where like, oh, I should have put this track before, I should have put that track later. Why should I make it so rigid when I can mix? I just go out there and mix my music, the way I want, live, and makes it more interesting. Every weekend, if you're just pushing play with the same set, I find that a little bit too boring.
A producer has his spot, and so does a DJ. And
Oh yes.
God bless the one who knows both, technically.
You can totally say that. And we need each other as well. We need DJs to buy our music, to go out there and play our music. Frankly, it's the DJs who are buying the music on Beatport. It's not your average, listener.
And also, I think the DJs who make the tracks more famous, because I think they play more comparatively than a producer would.
100%. Like, I send my music out to a lot of the top DJs just for promotions. So that's the best promotion is when, the best DJs in the world are playing the music.
Tell us something about your school.
It's called STARLAB Academy. So now I've been teaching for 4 years. Before this COVID situation, it was all actually in person.
Okay.
And now,
now it's online.
I have students coming from all over India, from Bombay, from Calcutta, Kashmir.
How long are the courses?
So it depends. If you're a complete beginner, then it's about 26 sessions or so. We spread it out over like twice a week. And then there is one where you're not a complete beginner, you already know how to use a DAW. So in that case, it's like reduced to maybe 18 sessions.
Since you've been in, the industry for long, and just a piece of advice to all the youngsters down there who kind of, I feel have a misconception about the fact that your passion can get you money on the table in terms of, they think that, now I have produced a track and I can mix, so tomorrow I'll become a superstar.
This is a misconception that a lot of youngsters have. They think that one track, they will make it with just that one track. It doesn't work like that. You have to keep going at it year after year. There'll be a lot of disappointments, a lot of failures. I think a big mistake that a lot of youngsters make is that they get disappointed very quickly. They get turned down once or twice by a club or by a promoter saying, no, I can't play or whatever. Even if somebody asks them to play for free, their ego gets in the way and they're like, I'm not going to play for free and stuff like that. We've all done it. The best of the best out there have played for free at some point in time. So don't be afraid to do that. Make connections, build yourself up slowly. Make sure you're in the right place, meeting with the right people.
At an underground event, did anybody come and ask you for a song request?
Yeah, in India this happens the most. I don't think it's ever happened anywhere else in the world where, somebody's come up to me and requested me to play a certain track, which is not even like Thai. We have such a strong Bollywood culture here. Sometimes there's people at parties where, they don't know any better. They come up to you and request you to play a Punjabi track or play some Bollywood track. It's laughable, but I'm used to it in India. I just kind of ignore.
Did you ever goof up when you were playing?
Goof up, yeah, I have.
What happened?
Quite a few times. What happened? I've had a technical fault, my sound card stopped working or some cable got yanked out, or because there was a lot of vibration on the table of the console that my laptop kind of shut off. This happened in Mexico actually, I was playing my first ever party there and my laptop just shut off and there were so many people on the dance floor and peak time.
It's always a pro and con with technology, right? You never know.
Yeah, there's always a pro and con with technology, exactly. So
you never know.
But I learn from those mistakes and I try to minimize these kind of things. That's all you can do. It happens with the best. It happens with everybody.
Where all have you traveled as a musician?
Pretty much every continent other than Africa. Haven't been to Africa yet. I had something lined up for 2020 in South Africa, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen now. But yeah, pretty much everywhere else. Last year, Australia happened for the first time.
You've played at most of the music festivals.
Yeah, you can say that. This year, in fact, I had some very, very big bookings in Europe, Azora being one of them. In fact, I was supposed to be there right now.
What's coming up next in terms of your future project, and where can people, listen to STARLAB's music?
Okay, so presently I'm just focusing on my music, producing better and better music. I'm really working on my sound design skills. I'm teaching a lot now. It's all online. So I really have to kind of go back to my roots a lot with that, a lot of fundamentals coming back. And I'm basically working very, very strongly on my own production now. As for gigs, hard to say right now what's going to happen. I have something lined up, but who knows when this is going to be behind us and when we'll be allowed to travel again. So that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on myself a lot.
Okay.
Also in terms of fitness.
So where does one get hold of your music?
So I'm there everywhere. Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, and you can buy my music on Beatport. Pretty much all leading download and streaming platforms.
Thank you so much, STARLAB, for joining me and taking me through your journey in this rabbit hole. Thank you so much, and wish you all the very best. And looking forward to all your gigs in the near future.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you to all our listeners. And here's a reminder to catch me again next Sunday at 10 a.m. To make your Sunday even more special, coming up next is a set mixed by STARLAB. So put on your dancing shoes and enjoy.